Hey everyone, and thanks for jumping back into the cryptoverse. Today is an exciting day. Ethereum has broken past $1,400. On some exchanges, it's in fact put in new all-time highs. If you guys like the content, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Let's go for 100,000 subscribers. Give the video a thumbs up. Also, check out the Telegram channel, which you can find a link to in the description below. We're going to put out another video later today, probably a number of videos, where we take a look back at Bitcoin's 1-year ROI and show how we are still very much on course so far to ultimately show that Ethereum volatility might in fact be one market cycle behind Bitcoin. So make sure you subscribe, turn on the alerts so you guys don't miss that video. So where are we now? Well, Ethereum is now at 1418, a modest 1418. And we know that, when Bitcoin got to its prior all-time high a few weeks ago, in fact, it did take it a while to break it. Now, we don't know if Ethereum, if it will take Ethereum a while or not. By the time you guys are watching this video, as we know with the last video, there's a good chance we'll be off to the races again. But what I think is impressive is Ether Bitcoin. I mean, remember the discussions we had October, November, December, saying, it's bleeding. We expect this. We expect Ethereum to bleed against Bitcoin if history is any indication. This is another example of where we say, yes, historical moves do not necessarily imply exactly what will happen in the future, but you can at least use historical information to inform your decisions, whether you want to take the same approach that you've seen in the past or if you want to trade in the opposite manner. But the data, at least you can use the data to inform your decisions. It's obviously based on how you interpret that data. But in my opinion, using data from the past has worked out quite well. I mean, if you look at last December, Ethereum rallied against Bitcoin. We saw this impressive rally right here, starting in December, and it rallied up. If we take a measured move from the bottom of the wick, it rallied up over 60%, 65%. So far, Ethereum has rallied about 67%. However, we've seen rallies before of Ether against Bitcoin where they rallied much more than 60%. Here's one that was 1,700%. Here's one that was around 700%, and here was one that was around 400%. So we know that Ethereum is capable of rallying more than 60 to 70% against Bitcoin in Q1. Now, I understand that over the last few weeks, some people have become somewhat disillusioned with Ethereum because they felt like it wasn't moving quickly enough for them. Remember, Q1 is 3 months, okay? And the thesis was that Ethereum would outperform Bitcoin during Q1. Now, obviously, the peak of Ether Bitcoin's valuation might not come on March 31st, or it could extend until the summer. One of the things we've looked at before is this move, where it started, it went all the way up to late March, and then it came back down in April, and then ultimately continued on into the summer. So remember, these moves can take a while. It's easy when we look back at these moves over here and discuss their, how long it took them to move. For instance, if we take, say, measured moves from here to here, we can say, okay, this was 1,900% over 84 days. Or we can say that this was 2,000% over 182 days. History will remember this, in my opinion, not as 60% over a few days. When we look back on this in history in the future, and this is the historical data we look at, we'll say, okay, from here, we could even take it from the wick here potentially. From the wick in August, where so far we're up 136% over 504 days. And we've said before, we expect the return, we expect things to move a little bit slower. Ethereum is not increasing as quickly against Bitcoin as it did last market cycle, but it's increasing in a very systematic way, right? We have been following this upward channel for over a year. We were at the bottom, we came to the top, we came back to the bottom, we went to the halfway point, and then back to the bottom, we came back to the top, back to the bottom, back to the halfway point, and then now we had our December capitulation. Again, Ethereum was nice enough to grace us with an Ethereum capitulation against Bitcoin, which is exactly what we anticipated in December, followed by a very strong Q1 move. So if you guys took advantage of this, the Ether Bitcoin move from December and then going into January, let me know in the comments below if you guys have been able to take advantage of that move. Now, we are in fact quickly approaching our local top from 2020. So our local top from 2020 was around the 0.0406 level. So this was the wick that ultimately we peaked at in 2020. However, if this uptrend channel, which again could easily be broken, just like it was broken to the downside, maybe we'll break it to the upside later on this year, but if it were to come back up to the top of the channel, then we might be looking at closer to a 0.05 valuation, depending on exactly when that were to happen. And if it does that, then we're looking at a pretty decent valuation of Ethereum against USD. And in fact, if we just quickly measure it out really quick so we can get an idea, assuming the price of Bitcoin were to stay invariant, which it won't, but let's just say that it did at 37.2, and we multiply that by 0.05, so about 1/20th or so, that would put Ethereum at a modest $1,860. So if Ethereum were to come back up to the channel at the top here at around 0.05 or so, then it would put it just shy of $2,000. The other thing we will continue to watch is its approach to the 50-month moving average, because as you guys know, that was where we peaked at back in September. And this moving average continues to go up. Now it's at 0.04, it's almost at 0.042. So if it were to reach, say, 0.042 in the next week or so, then it would imply a $1,500, almost a $1,600 Ethereum. Now, again, you always must be responsible in these markets. Things can go down quicker than they go up, as you guys know. So make sure you are responsible. But a lot of us are here because we understand the risks, we understand the risks that are involved, and we want to take on that volatility or risk so that we earn that theoretical ROI. We've always contended that Ethereum should yield us a nicer ROI than Bitcoin, but it's because we're paying for that ROI with more units of volatility or more units of risk. So let's keep an eye on it. Ethereum is, right now, we know that it broke its all-time high on some exchanges. Right now, it's still sitting, right around the prior all-time high. Obviously, a break out of 1440 up to 1450 I would say would definitively be breaking it. 1500 would even be more symbolic. But for all intents and purposes, Ethereum at this point is at its prior all-time high. And if we can continue to push past this level, this is basically where we held resistance in 2018, around the same time, in fact. If we can push past it, then maybe Ethereum will go in price discovery mode. Remember, Bitcoin hit its all-time high in 2017 in December, and then it ultimately pushed past it. Now, Ethereum hit its all-time high in 2018 in January, and hopefully now it's about to push past it, and we'll go into price discovery mode. Remember, we have the premium list at intothecryptoverse.com if you want access to the exclusive content. We have weekly premium reports, which I put a lot of effort into, the premium videos to accompany them. We have a Telegram alerts channel, a Telegram chat room, a risk dashboard, trading view indicators. We have a lot more stuff coming too. So make sure you guys check it out, intothecryptoverse.com. We also have a lifetime deal that'll end in about a little less than 2 weeks now. It'll end February 1st. So if you want to just get access to the lifetime subscription and then follow the analysis, you can do that as well. And you can check out the description below for that link. That'll wrap it up for the video. Exciting times. Ethereum is now finally at $1,400. I don't think many of us doubted it could get there. Now we just want to see if it can convincingly break through into the upper 1400s and continue on. How high will price discovery take us? Make sure you subscribe. Let's get to 100,000 subscribers. Give the video a thumbs up. Check out the Telegram channel in the description below. That'll wrap it up. Thank you guys for tuning in. I'll see you next time. Bye.